Hello, Richard here, and welcome to the third installment in my Payday 2 weapon guide. In this video, we'll be looking at the OVE9000, better known as the SAW. While this weapon may lack in combat effectiveness, it compensates by being an incredible utility, allowing you to bypass barriers and complete objectives much more quickly than without. While not entirely based on any real-life tool, it does loosely resemble the Husqvarna K760 saw, albeit functioning on electrical power as opposed to the real steel model which uses petroleum-based fuel. The saw is initially a primary weapon, however can be used as a secondary with the basic version of the portable saw skill. As expected, it has a very limited range, only able to hit targets within a meter or less, and deals low damage considering this weapon's situational nature. However, the primary use of the saw is as a tool, being able to saw a variety of barriers to speed your progress. Saws, regardless of what skills you have, can open most doors, including keycard doors, deposit boxes, metal gates or barriers, ATMs, and a few mission-specific objects such as the bottom of the truck in Watch Dogs Day 1. They are incredibly valuable on armored transport heists, as they will make looting the vans and escaping much easier. When in its effective range, lethality will be fair, dealing 23 base damage per hit at a continuous rate of 400 hits per minute. At first, this may seem slow, but quickly tap revving the saw will dramatically increase its effectiveness against both animate and inanimate objects. This is especially important with lightly upgraded saws, as you'll need all the blade durability you can get. As a backup, it can be effective against most light police units. However, special units, with the rare exception of the bulldozer, will shrug off most of your hits and are best avoided if all you have is the saw. While the saw does have an accuracy and stability value, both of these are rather irrelevant, considering the saw will hit a general area rather than a random hit scan point. The saw does also have, oddly enough, some recoil, but it's hardly a factor and can easily be compensated by pulling down with the mouse. The most important focus of the saw's stats is its ammo or durability stats. By default, the saw will have two blades with 150 durability each. Once the saw's durability hits 0, you'll be forced to reload a blade onto the weapon, which takes a flat 3.75 seconds. As a general rule, you'll have enough ammo to get through most short and medium heists without consuming too much. However, longer heists or ones with multiple barriers may see you seeking ammo bags more frequently. You can carry extra saw blades and get increased durability thanks to the fully loaded, carbon blade, and portable saw skills. A nice luxury when you plan on using your saw extensively. For our build with the saw, we're going to focus on maximizing its potential as a tool, while still being able to be effective with our other weapon. For a weapon boost, the obvious choices are either the team boost or the ammo boost, as the other options offer no real tangible benefits. For the motor, I chose the fast version, providing us with much more cutting power and reducing time to kill and time to destroy barriers. Finally, for the blade, I elected the durable blade, as the added durability will allow you to get more use out of the saw without reaching for an ammo bag. Our skill selection will primarily focus on optimizing the saw for use as a tool rather than a weapon. The portable saw skill aced and the carbon blade basic will provide us with the ability to not only equip the saw as a secondary, but also dramatically increase its longevity. Fully loaded ace is also an important skill that will not only increase your total ammo for the saw, but also keep your primary weapon self-sufficient in terms of ammunition. Since you'll only have one real weapon, you'll need to be relatively durable to compensate, so Iron Man aced, Resilience aced, and Shock and Awe basic will allow you to stay in the fight much longer. For our perk deck selection, we still want to emphasize toughness and autonomy. That being said, the muscle perk deck offers both increased health and passive health regeneration. Muscle, when paired with the carbon blade skill aced, can also allow you panic nearby police by revving the saw's engine, and while this is not always effective, it can make running through the gauntlet a little less painful. For your primary weapon selection, I would highly suggest taking something versatile, as you'll need to be able to handle most combat situations with this alone. My personal picks for overkill and below are the CAR 4 and the UAR, and for Deathwish I chose to amp up the power a bit with the Eagle or Falcon rifles. For a grenade, the Molotovs are a good tool in defense, as they allow you to block choke points or, at the very least, soften enemies that pass through. This can be very powerful on bank missions when looting the vault, as police have only one entrance. As a side note, you'll probably want to make sure if you're bringing a saw on a mission that it is actually of any use, as many heists will only utilize the saw in a limited capacity. Also make sure that there isn't another player bringing C4, as in some missions this actually can be the more effective option. There are a couple of exceptions to this. The armor transport heists and the nightclub in particular can utilize both tools to great effect and allow you to complete the heists in only a few minutes. The saw is an extremely powerful asset that can dramatically speed up difficult missions while still leaving your equipment slot open. In addition, it can heavily increase the payout of many heists, especially ones that feature deposit boxes. However, you will have to trade one of your weapon slots, which forces you to use a general purpose weapon as your alternate, and limits your overall versatility. Overall, the saw on certain missions can be a vital tool to help speed up your crew's progress, turning protracted battles into brief and fortuitous skirmishes. In a pinch, the saw can act as a very intimidating weapon and allow you to rip and tear through your enemies. Thank you very much for watching. Join me next time as we cover the Breaker shotgun. But until then, farewell.